Welcome to Classic and Retro, and welcome back to the Toyota Supra project. Now, if you're not already, make sure you click the subscribe button, check out some of the previous videos to see where we're up to on this project. Now, in today's video, we're going to be rebuilding the engine. Now, we've already done a fair bit to the engine. We've replaced the head gasket, we've had the head skimmed, we've shimmed the cams, new ARP studs, new water pump, thermostat, timing belt. As you can see, it's getting there, but we still do have a fair bit to do. We've got to put all the auxiliary belts on, we've got to get the cooling system back in, all the wiring in, all the inlet manifold, all the induction system, cam covers, a fair bit of work. Now, this is the last major job before this car will be running. We've got to do a gearbox service, but there's not really too much to that, so it shouldn't take too long. So this car should be on the home stretch and running in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, possibly not this video, maybe next we'll get to the first start up, first test drive and so on. But we've got everything we need for this one. We just need to crack on and get it done, so let's do that. There's one 10mm on a rubber bobbin right down there that holds the bottom of the aircon radiator. I'm never going to be able to video this. It's going to be really awkward. Just trust me that I'm doing it now. You'll see my arms and maybe my head. It's got to go in, so. Next, we're going to put the bracket back on for the expansion tank and get the expansion tank back in. That's literally just one 10mm on there. Quite an easy one. Put dipstick back in. Can't really do too much more with the cooling system until the timing belt and auxiliary belts are on, because the next thing is like top and bottom hose. These lines down there are gearbox oil cooler hoses, so we need to tighten those up from underneath. I think the next thing is start getting the inlet manifold on. Still need to time it up, we'll sort that later, it's not a big deal. But what is a big deal is getting all this mess sorted. Fuel rails next. Now, we've got the fuel rail bolts, we've bagged them up. I'm wondering if I should put the wiring loom in before the fuel rail. It's kind of looking that way, isn't it? But I don't want to. It's a tough one, but I think I do. Yeah, let's do it. Quick battery changing GoPro, and I've definitely not done some work while the camera was off, promise. So all the wiring's now routed exactly where we want it. Everything's connected up apart from the stuff that goes to the top of the engine, goes to the inlet manifold, goes to the inlet manifold, etc, etc. This lot all comes across, as we mentioned earlier. So the next job is to time the engine up, get the back plate on here, get the cam pulleys on, get the cam belt on, and get it all timed up as we want it. To that end, I've taken number 1 spark plug out so I can just make sure the engine's at top dead centre, which I'm pretty sure it is, but we'll just double check for the laugh. Then once we've checked it's top dead centre, back plate, cam pulleys, cam belt, and then we can put the cam covers on, and then we're really on a roll then. So let's do that. That's top dead centre, and that would agree with it. So happy days. No stress, but if you drop one of these down there, you got to take everything back off again. So let's not do that. You even see what I'm doing? Yeah, we're all good. Once you've got it on, it's a good idea to rotate the engine a couple of times and just make sure that when you're finished it's still pointing in the right direction. So we'll do that. Looks good. So the battery on the GoPro's died, but we're on a bit of a roll, so we're not stopping. So I put the old distributor cap back on for now because the new one is wrong. We're going to reorder one of those. I've routed the HT leads and the coil lead. The inlet manifold is now bolted down with all the proper stays. Throttle bracket is on with the kick down cable and everything. That's all on. Breathers are on. Started fitting a few hoses. You can see the odd thing missing. That's where the EGR used to be. We've done an EGR delete on it. What else is there to do? So it's got no alternator and no alternator wiring on it. Still no aux cables, no topos and no bottomos. Induction system's got to go on, which I'll do next. And then yeah, we've just got various cooling hoses. Got a silicone hose set, but they're not quite right, so we're gonna have to just mix and match and see what we can do with those. But yeah, very, very close now. I think we'll get some oil in it shortly, and then we might test fire it later today. But obviously the whole thing needs a clean. It's very, very grubby, but the priority is to get it back together and running to start with. So once it's back together and running reliably, we can then detail it and make it look pretty. But until it is, there's not really much point. So let's get this induction system put on, and that pretty much finishes off this side, and then we can work our way across. We're nearly done for today, I think. Getting there. I don't think it's too early for a few modifications. Let's get this put on. And there we go, strut brace fitted. And we've also started test fitting some hoses and put the alternator back on loosely until we get the auxiliary belts done. Obviously this hose will have to come off to fit the fan and the auxiliary belts, but I just wanted to start sizing all the hoses up. unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. It does really help the channel out. And check out some of the previous videos and videos of the other projects. We've also got a new project car coming. Actually, by the time you see this, it might already be out. So yeah, in the next video, we're going to hopefully get it started up, get it run up to temperature, and maybe even test driven. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon.